So, yeah. Hello, YouTube. I am Mana. I'm your host today. Today, we'll guide the conversation about new language, a new person, or no. With me, I have Maria and Monique. And I would like to start, Monique, listen from you about your presentation. So, who are you, Monique?
So I am a girl from Aracaju, Sergipe, but I'm living in São Paulo. I'm 32 years old. I am a journalist and I am working as a copywriter. And my free time, I like to play board games and I work with board games also. I sometimes I write manuals, board game manuals, or make some proofreading about manuals, and I work sometimes in some events of this kind of hobby. And I have three personalities, like Maria. I speak Spanish, English, and Portuguese, so I'm totally different in different languages.
Oh, super nice. And what is board games? Is board games or because I don't
Board, it's
board.
jogos de tabuleiro.
Oh, nice. Board games. Yeah, a new word for me. Super nice. Super nice. I love this kind of games. And my favorite one is Imersão. I love it. So, yeah.
Very
So,
nice.
Maria, present yourself, your English personality.
Okay. Hello, my name is Maria. I'm also a Spanish host here. So every Monday at 6 p.m., if anyone want to come, just you're invited to my I'm doing my publicity now. And I really like language. I like to pass my time with my friends. I also like to read about different topics because I really like to talk. So when you talk too much, you like to know about things. And this is a little secret. And I consider that. I am
Very,
20. I'm from Salvador.
oh, very good. Very good. And how long have you been here as a host?
Almost 2 years, but
Very good.
uh, I'm here for a long time. Since
Oh,
pandemic.
oh, good. So it's same as me. Super nice, Maria. Super nice. See, this platform is so big that we have Maria here as the same time as me. So I have no idea about you, Maria. So nice to meet you. Mel, how many personalities you have? We are talking about a new language, a new personality. So we have Maria and Monique that has three personalities, Portuguese, English, and Spanish. So I know you speak more languages, so it's
Yeah,
interesting.
I'm Mel. I am I am from São Paulo. I live here and I like to study languages. I study English, French, and German now. So yeah, I can say also that it changes. Um, the language we change in each language we are talking, but also it is part of the communication. It happens to everybody, so it isn't something. It isn't a problem. It isn't something shouldn't we should worry about. It's something that happens. It's natural. So that's that's how it is.
Super nice, super nice. And are you planning to learn more languages here in the platform beyond
Yeah,
German and French?
yeah, sure. I already do French ger- immersions here, and I intend to start maybe the German ones. But also, I have here there is Italian and Spanish too.
Yes.
So maybe just to um I, I don't want to say in Portuguese, but to there's they are available, so I could start it. You know.
Yes, yes. And I don't know if you were here when Maria said that she's a hostess in Spanish, so maybe starting her immersion. That's super nice.
Maybe.
That's good. That's good. So let's go to the questions. How does learning a new language affect a person's behavior and personality? Do you want to start, Maria?
Yes, so maybe we start to talk with yourself alone. I think everyone has done that to prepare English, and this is it will be one of the change. Another one is that you become uh more a sociable, social person. In, for example, uh being here and talk, I have to talk with three people. I don't know you girls. I don't know where everyone uh are is from, and however it can be a little you can be a little ashamed in the beginning. So I consider that a new language can open your eyes to a new world, to a new people. uh Imagine this with native persons in a foreign country. I think this it will change everything, because you need to communicate it, and an excellent communication is necessary for everything. Anywhere in an interview or when you talk to people, you need to share ideas, share, I know, goals, whatever. This make a huge change, and I really like that. For me, it affects in that way my behavior.
Yeah, for me, it was exactly like this. When I started here in this platform and I really started improving my English, I discovered that the world is bigger than just my city. There are people completely different from me, completely and different behaviors, knowledge, thoughts, more than just the small city I used to live in the past. So it really changed my behavior and as well my personality, and it changed completely my life. Now I'm living more than 24 hours apart of my parents, and I've never think about this. I say 24 hours because it's impossible. If I call them right now and say I need you here, they will just arrive at least 24 hours after. So I've never thought that I could do this. I've never thought about like living abroad or like being divorced as I did in the past. So it really gives me power and courage to be who I want to be. So I completely agree with you, Maria. And you, Monique, do you have any example about how learning a new language changed you, your behavior, personality?
I think I feel more free to do some things. For example, to travel. I made an internship to Toronto in 2014, and that was my first experience abroad. And that was very nice. I made friends. I learned so much about different cultures because in Toronto we have different kind of people from different countries. So that was very nice. And when I have the opportunity to make some trips, I feel for me, I think it's more easy to understand the language, the culture, the people around there because I can speak in English or Spanish, and I feel more comfortable. And I think to me it's something good. I think I have more possibilities in my life. I can do something different than Monique that I was in the past when I
Yeah,
was younger.
that's good. That's good. So you consider that the language open you new doors?
Yes, open my head. My head.
Yeah.
Yes, and open doors to study abroad. For example, the last year I had the opportunity to study in USA in a university because I had the English, the language. So and I that was getting I gave no. How can I say? Eu ganhei uma bolsa de estudos.
So you won a scholarship?
Yes. So that was possible because I had the English.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, the same with me. Actually, in the beginning of my PhD, I told to my supervisor that I would like to have this experience abroad, but she have never asked me about my English proficiency, just believe on me. And I just had one chance to present in English in front of her. And maybe 4 months after she saw this presentation, she invited me to have this experience abroad. So just one thing that you choose, that you decide to do, like an English presentation. So yeah, it opens you a lot of doors. And how about you, Mel? Do you have any example about how learning a new language it's changing your personality or behaviors?
Yeah, I think when in every aspects, when we are learning something new, we are more insecure. We don't have the so much confidence in what we are saying, what we are doing. So we always are a little bit more um, closed up. I don't know, because we don't have the all the knowledge of that area, so we just try to speak the as nana as we can. You got
Yeah,
it. Um, so yeah, and but that's part of the process. We have to achieve our goals. We have to try to do our best to speak as more as we can in the other languages, so we can improve it and to and get more opportunities to have more opportunities, or to even to create opportunities, because it isn't always just like flowers, and the best opportunity will be on my hands and I will choose to do that. So we have to fight for it, to go for it, to um, go through all these learning obstacles. I don't know. You got it.
yeah,
And so we can achieve what we wanted at the beginning.
yeah. I was thinking about this. Do you consider that speaking another language, um, maybe those one you are not so comfortable, you are more direct to the point, or do you feel that you go um, like you use less words to say something, or do you feel that you use more words? What do you think?
In my case, I say less words because I don't have the all the vocabulary that I wish I could have
Yeah,
at the moment. So I say just directly. Uh, I just go straight to the point, and that's it. If you didn't like the way it said, I don't even care because that's not my level yet. But of
yeah,
course, I am trying to to develop it to have
yeah,
more grammar, and that's just a phase.
yeah,
I'll get through it, and everyone here will get through it.
for sure. And you, Maria, do you agree, or do you feel different than Mel? An example, do you feel that you use more words to explain a simple thing, or you go direct to the point?
So I've considered strict at the point because, for example, if I'm talking about physics and English, it will be a little hard for me because I don't know all those vocabulary. So I just make sure to be short and comprehensible. That my word, my phrase could be as much comprehensible as possible. So I really like that. But sometimes when you don't know, then you were just, oh my God, what can I say? You will start to, are you talking about something and you come back and try to change. But I consider that people are more straight to the point because we don't have a lot of vocabulary when we're starting. Or if I'm talking about physics, like I said, it will be a little hard if I'm not a person who likes physics, for example. This is the case.
Yeah, and as Maria said, um, we go straight to the point, but also when we don't have the words, we don't know the words to go straight to the point. We use many words to try to give the idea of what we wanted to say. So it happens too.
Yeah, I consider that I am this kind of one. In English, I consider that I am a more long-winded. Do you know long-winded? It means prolixa, that you say the same thing more than one time. So a long-winded. I love this word. It's new for me. And I remember this week last week actually, I was trying to explain to a patient why we do not call them diabetics. In order this, we call them people with diabetics. So what is the difference between this? I was trying to explain. For us, you are more than just a disease. You are more than this label, but I completely forgot the word label. So I tried to explain. Do you know a bottle of water? So do you see those plastics saying the name of the brand? And I say, yeah. Then I say, how to say this in English? And he says, label. So you are more than this label. So I need to use like a long phrase to explain a simple thing. So I consider that I am this kind. And you, Monique, I can see that you are agreeing with your head. So do you feel the same?
Yes, totally. I always go direct to the point because I don't have so much vocabulary, and I started to learn English for a long time, but I don't have so much practice. I consider good when I'm traveling or making some course abroad, but in Brazil now I'm run and to learn more English because now I understand the because it's so important to me for my career and in general for me. But when I was younger, I didn't have this consciência. I don't know the word. So now I'm trying to practice more, to appear here and talk and to have more conversations, trying to, also to read more.
Yeah, I totally agree with this, and I feel the same. In the past, my parents they paid a wizard course for me, so one of the famous um, courses to learn another language, especially English. But I didn't enjoy like anything. I was there just because someone forced me to do, and yeah, I consider that everything I know I've learned here, not in the wizard course. So, yeah, I know about this. Let me choose another question. I would like to listen from you that speak more than one language, and maybe you can bring me some examples about the question number 5. Does your personality change when you speak a different language? Male or polyglot in here? How do you feel the difference in your personality?
Yeah, totally. Because I don't really know why, but it happens, and you find out what are the specific aspects that shines in each in your personality in each language that you speak. So in English, I'm much more open, like to speak like this in a fluent way. Um, like because in Portuguese I don't speak much, so I just stay there quiet. So, but here, speaking English, I'm more extroverted. I don't know how to say. And in French, it changes. I am more serious, maybe. In German, I don't really have a concrete um, I forgot, but a concrete decision. It's not a decision, but thoughts about it.
Mhm.
But yeah, it changes, of course. And even if and we can say about the topic, even in Portuguese, when we talk about one thing, we speak in a way because we don't have much knowledge about this. But when we speak in the other area, in the other thing, about the other topic, we changes our way, our eyes shines about it because we like to talk about it. So even in Portuguese.
Yeah, yeah, I know. So do you consider that you are still building your personality in German? Like you don't have it
Yeah, because
yet?
I just I study German. um I started to study German like 1 year ago, and study it in the I forgot the word, but when you just study and you don't really practice, because I don't speak with anybody, I don't have anybody to talk up to in German, so it's also a challenge for me
Yeah.
because I don't have anybody to speak to, but I try to do everything that I can to improve it, even by
Um,
myself.
yeah, I got it. I got it. And of course, it's different the way you were studying without talking. So you just
Yeah,
have personality when you expose yourself to the language, like speaking. I think
yeah,
it's like this that you build your personality
yeah.
in other language. And how about you, Maria? Do you feel this difference in your personality?
Um, Not necessarily my personality, but for example, in English, I consider that English is more polite language, it's like you were teaching something for someone. And in Spanish, like you were being fun. I can't explain that, but I just a consideration that I have. And is English is like you were teaching for someone. I feel like a teacher, just the way you talk and things like that. In Spanish, is I consider that it's a Persian language is more beautiful. It's more I can't explain. Um, it's different. I really like Spanish too, but I like English. It's more necessary, but I consider that some languages you'll be more a personal person, a passion person. I don't know if this meet this phrase exists, but yeah, in English, like more different. I don't know. Maybe for example, if someone German sounds like you were being rude to someone, you were being chaotic. Yeah, and Asian language, for example, sounds very straight for me because I have no contact with that. For example, my journey learned Arabic. Arabic sounds totally different and you can understand a bit, but I said that it's interesting how language can change around the world and even how people speak. For example, another thing that I really like about language is the way they use your mouth. In Spanish, we have to when you see a double A, then you have to mix it. I don't know how to say treme,
Mm.
shake your like your tongue to make this noise. For example, ratón or déjame ver, ratón, por ejemplo, as for example, is an example word. So we have to do that. But English is totally different. There are some words in English that you need to put your tongue in the middle of your teeth, say pray, throughout. So, and it's magic. It's interesting. It can be a little hard at the beginning to learn, for example. And those are another way to pronounce the word. But I really like that.
Yeah. And if you need to choose between an example, I will ask Maria, now you cannot speak Portuguese anymore. You need to choose, or you will speak English for the rest of your life or Spanish for the rest of your life. What is your heart?
That's kind of tough decision because English is so necessary. It was hard to learn that, and
But do not think about the opportunities that the English will give you. An example, if I speak English for the rest of my life, it means that I will live in the USA. And if I speak Spanish, it means that I will live in Spain. No, imagine that your life will continue the same, you just change the language.
that's a tough decision. But I really like language English because you can search a lot of things with that, can connect with people. But I consider Spanish is a more beautiful language with songs, lovely songs, countries. I don't know. My rational side would choose English, but my emotion would choose Spanish. I
Oh,
love those languages; they're good. I consider.
yeah. I feel that your heart it's with Spanish, but your brain with English. Yeah. And how about you, Monique? If I make you the same question, you can just speak one idiom, English or Spanish. You will not lose the knowledge you have. An example, Maria said about, I like English because I can make a lot of research in English, more contact. We have more contact in English. You continue with the knowledge you have, but you'll be just able to speak one idiom.
100% Spanish. I love Spanish. It's my passion language. I have more connection, and I think I feel more happy when I'm speaking in Spanish, and it's I think that I think of this because the countries that speak Spanish, like the Latin Americans or Spain, the people there are more happy, more have more. I don't know. Are people that are more open to you, and I think when you speak in English, it's more polite, like Maria says. I think I think I'm better speaking Spanish.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And do you have an example about how your personality changed when you speak English or Spanish?
Oh, I think I'm more open when I'm speaking Spanish. When I travel to some place like this, or even when I'm walking on the street and I find someone that speaks Spanish, I feel more happy about this than when I find someone that speaks in English, I think. And I hated English for a long time in my life, and I started to learn Spanish first, and I had a bad experience in my life because the school. I
Mm.
didn't like English because the classes that I had in school. So I started to learn Spanish, and my mom paid to me an English course after, and I started to learn about, and I like it. Now I like it more, and I think it's good. I feel more comfortable, but I prefer Spanish.
Yeah, and I think these memories we have in the past when we were younger with English, an example, we know that the English is important. So that's the reason we are forced to. So that's the reason we want to learn because it's important. You know that you need to do this in order to have a better job, a better salary, or better opportunity. But when you choose a language just because you like it, an example, seems you like Spanish and seems Maria likes Spanish, that's the reason you want to learn. So you have a different experience with those languages. Perfect. And you, Mel, in the languages you speak, if I need to ask you, Mel, you are just able to speak one language, will you choose French, German, or English?
I'd say the same thing as the others because of the opportunities. Um, Thinking about this way, I would choose English because it is much more usual in the world. But if it didn't matter and I could just choose one, I would choose German because it's more difficult. It's challenging for me, and that would be easier if I already spoke, speak. I don't know the language. So I think it's even though it sounds a little bit rude
Yeah.
sometimes, as Maria said, um, in my opinion, now that when someone starts to really learn to see the culture the way they think, it changes our perspective, and that happened to me, and so now I don't see it as rude the most of the times. So yeah, I will choose it.
Yeah. And I have a question to Maria that is not here in the chat. I think you say that when I think you agree with Monique, both of you say that when you speak English, you are more serious, and when you speak Spanish, you are more open, you are more funny, and I think we all here agree that when we think about German, it sounds rude or it sounds that someone is nervous. Do you think is it related with the idea that we have from these countries in Brazil? An example, the idea that we have based on the films or based on the social media. Do you think they sell this idea for us in some way? That's the reason we think about this, about those idioms?
Yes. For example, my mother was in German and she said that she was in the bus and and the woman say something in German. She didn't understand, of course. And she said, "Oh my God, sounds like she was hating me. She was treating me so bad." Because, for example, we see Europe people as someone extremely cold. For example, for us, I consider that Brazilian accent of Portuguese is so much better than Portugal because there they seem so rude. People that are a little strange for us, they are not open. So I consider that is your point of view of your culture. That is a term. I don't know how this term is used in English as relativização cultural because uh, we have like there are two terms, relativização e cultura cêntrica, tipo eurocêntrico, só que da cultura. I don't know how to say, I didn't remember in Portuguese. So we have this. Sometimes we'll see some countries as perfect or more similar to Brazil because we accept that culture. Where, for example, when you talk about Arabic countries, we see so bad. I'm not saying that they are doing great, for example, with women, but I'm saying that it's a conception that we have, and it's kind of hard to debate that. But come to the main point, I consider that we see that language in the way that we see that country. Because, for example, German people sound so rude, and any, for example, North Americans, no, for example, British people sound different because that British accent, say like Harry Potter and Potter, and I really agree with that the country it changed the way you see the accent.
Yeah. And here in Toronto, I have contact with people from different words, different words, different countries. And sometimes I like to admit for them the vision we have from this country in Brazil. An example, if I ask to you to think about the weather in Iran, what do you think? It's hot or cold? What comes in your mind? Hot or cold?
In the country that you live,
Iran.
cold.
Cold?
Do you live in Toronto?
I live in
Yeah.
Toronto. Yeah.
I'd say
I-
hot,
I don't know much.
hot weather.
It's going to be a little cold and with a lot of sun sometimes. I don't know. I don't know so much about Canada.
No, but Canada, okay, I think it's cold in here, but I'm asking about Iran. And Mel say that the vision she has, maybe it's hot weather in there. And yeah, that's the vision I have. But because the American way of selling Iran idea, it's that no, that is just desert in there. They are like in a hot weather every time. And I like to admit this for those people I'm meeting in here. And they say, no, we have snow in there. And I was, what the hell? Snow in Iran? I have no idea. So that's super nice because I'm learning a lot about different cultures and different countries and like broken this American way to see other countries. And I have some vision that they don't have so much water in there, so much natural belezas naturais. So they are like poor, and that's not true. So I think it's the same with languages. So we have like people selling this idea for us, these different ideas.
Yeah, because it's something about politics. It's about claiming the attention of people to. They sell things that are not true to change your mind and point of view. It's like the same with American movies. We dream about high school. We dream about the nights of the, I don't know, say, baile, and things like that. We try to incorporate this in Brazilian culture, and you have to think more about this, more critical.
Yeah. Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. Let me choose another question for the continuing discussion. Yeah, I like this question number 6. Mel, what do you think? Can the process of learning a new language increase your level of self-knowledge? How do you think? What do you think?
Increase is
Yes.
increase.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see again so that I can really understand. Can the process of learning process increase the? Yeah, sure. Because when we, even if we didn't learn, even if we didn't think about it in Portuguese, when we are learning another language, we are forced to study different topics and areas in our life. So it is something that in Portuguese we wouldn't do that. We wouldn't be talking about that topic, but because we are learning this another language, we are forced to learn it, to speak more, to have more grammar, vocabulary, and we of course increase the level of self knowledge because it's something we need to speak, to talk to somebody, so we can improve our skills, our knowledge about ourselves, about our inner person. Um, yeah. So I think that way.
Yeah, I agree with you, but in some point I disagree. But let me ask it to Monique. Monique, you mentioned that you made a course in a traditional school as me in the past, but you didn't enjoy this opportunity. So, do you think this process of increase your self-knowledge is related with the language itself? So it doesn't matter where you are learning, or are you building this self knowledge in here because of the way that we have conversations in here or the topics we have in here? I don't know, something about
I think that I think the place changes everything, you know. If you are in the place that you don't feel comfortable or the people don't are open to you, you don't feel okay to speak more and to speak your ideas. And for me, it's totally different about this. For me, it was different learning English when I was younger because I didn't have the opportunity to listen English music or to watch so much series in English because I didn't have TV a cabo that time, and I didn't like English at all. My friends have had all uh, access for different kinds of music and or series or movies, and to me was totally different. I think this happened to me to don't like English that time, you know.
Yeah.
I think the environment changes everything.
Yeah, because I'm trying to remember about the time I studied English in a traditional course, and I didn't feel that I was increasing my self-knowledge because the way that I was learning, it was so basic, like learning vocabulary about breakfast, learning vocabulary about to ride a bicycle, to, I don't know, like they do not have like this complex vocabulary and complex and deep conversation as we have in here. So in here, I consider that I'm building my self-knowledge not because of the English, but because of the topics we are talking in here. And it is a plus to talk about this in another language. So I needed to confess that more than one time I thought to stop my journey here in Talk and Talk, to not be a host anymore. I didn't have time, so it was not my priority anymore. But I just considered to continue because of the self-knowledge I was increasing in here, not because of the English. So I'm living in Toronto, so it doesn't make sense to continue speaking in English in here. I can go outside and speak with strangers in English. So, but because of the self-knowledge, because of the deep topics we are having in here, I consider to stay. How about you, Maria? Do you consider that uh, the language increase your self-knowledge, or because of the environments you are increasing the self-knowledge?
The environment, for example. Being here in Talk Talk, we have to talk about different topics. So okay, to open your mind to new solutions, new ways, and even new connections and opinions. And for example, when we are here, we have almost the same option. So it's kind of we're in a safe zone. But for example, let me say that Monique said something that we didn't agree. So we have to be polite with her because we didn't share that same opinion. And it can be a little tricky. And we have to increase your self-knowledge that way. For example, when I'm a host, I have to pay attention every single thing. I have to be sure that the person's like my meeting, that I'm doing the best, that I'm being fun. Um, I forgot the word. I'm being a cool person,
Yeah.
and we are and increase that. Even if you are, for example, we're just a hostler. I forgot the word. When you're just here to share your opinions to learn English, you are developing something. We're developing communication. We are talking with straight people. So I consider that talk and talk is so good at that. And the best in that way that you say about language itself. And like you say, I don't like English course. I have done one. Uh, that course was good, but however, I just learned when I put in my mind that I need to learn and be here to talk because you have to practice more than anything in this life. And it's kind of boring to see that, oh, you have now a list of vocabulary that you have to learn. and you have to learn about just a grammar. I'm not saying that grammar isn't necessary. It's necessary. However, isn't everything. And I have to agree with that.
Yeah, I completely agree. Completely agree. Hello, guys.
Hello,
How was
girls.
the conversation about personality? Ede, how was the
Yeah,
conversation?
it was a great conversation. We are talking about behavior and some aspect that to start learning a new language uh, bring bring to us. And we talking about self-confidence, and I told and we talked. I say that confidence. We have a today. I have more confidence to talk in English or to to start new projects in my job, for example, because uh, some in the past I use it to not participate in some project that need to learn and that need to talk in English or with people that only was talking English. And today I enjoy in some meetings and I can ask something about the job in English. I can I can uh, I can meet more better than in the past, and I can because I have more self-confidence. I am in a process. I'm not
Yeah,
very good, but I think I'm
we are all in the
confident
way. Yeah.
because I can talk.
Yes, that's amazing. That's amazing. And we have a good example in here. That's Márcio. I consider that I am following Márcio's journey about English. And in the beginning, he really struggled when he needs to speak. And now I consider that he has a very good self-confidence, although we are still in the journey. Everyone in here. Although I'm here in a host position, I am also a student. That's the name of this chart is host student. So I'm here also to improve. So we are in the way. We are in the way. Anyone wants to add something about this language and personality and about the experience in this immersion? Nope. So I have a last question. People from the social program, they are challenged to answer a question every time they participate in immersion. So they are supposed to share this knowledge in the LinkedIn. And the question is, what you have learned in this immersion? So anyone wants to share what you've learned? Monique, I know you want to share.
I know. I was thinking that I'm the social. I'm the social part, and I always try to write on LinkedIn something different that I learned in the immersion and add with something that are occurring in the world, for example. So 1 week, no, 3 weeks ago, we talked about the thing that happened in Rio Grande do Sul. So I wrote a text on LinkedIn about this, but I put some links to help the people that was there. For example,
Yeah.
how you can clean your refrigerator or your house after everything. So I try to give something different to don't give to the people something how can I say repetido.
We learned this weird word. Like I think it can be the same of prelixo. It's long,
Yes, yes,
long.
because I'm a copywriter, so I try to write something new every week.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Guys, I would like to thank you so much for this immersion. And I would like to invite you Friday 9 a.m. It's my immersion. I'm here just to cover up leave. And Friday 9 a.m. it's my usually habitat. So if you can join, it will be my pleasure to have you there, especially those I haven't opportunity to talk about that. It's Ed and Alberland and Márcio that I already know. Guys, thank you so much. Have a good night. Bye.
Good night.
Thank
Night.
you.